Alright, so now we're finally about finished with Takeshi's challenge. Finally got through all the trials and tribulations to get to this point, and now we just got a little bit more of slogging through crap to get to the end. So, we're in the village here, and just past it's a jungle, and just showing you there's a hidden heart here, which regenerates every time we go into another place like the Chief's Hut. That's useful to regain your health. And I'm just going to show you, even if you try to give him a present, unless you've talked to the hermit, it doesn't work. So you get stuck in the pot, and we got several options here. We'll try playing the shakuhachi. And he's not very impressed, so he starts the fire, and we're dead. And they don't even change the music, which is kind of insulting, quite frankly. So we'll go ahead and check out the other options. The next option is to break dance, and he just thinks we're crazy, so he kills us. And I'll go ahead and show you what trying to strum the shamisen does if you don't know how to do it. And you're screwed, so you die again. And let's try social dancing. We get something a little bit different here. He actually has us marry his daughter in a shotgun wedding, and now we're stuck. You have to press reset and start the game over, or use a password. We'll try begging for mercy. That does nothing. And then finally, if we lunge at him, well, that gets us out of this predicament, definitely. We gotta fight a few people, but we can get out. But now we're in trouble because we can't talk to the chief. So instead of doing that, we'll just keep going. And, you know, as you can see, there's a heart there. And that replenishes every time, which is nice. Now we have to go through a jungle again. And there's a little hidden area in this jungle, and I'm trying to find it. It's a little bit tricky to find. There it is. It's a hidden World War II Japanese encampment. And if you talk to this guy, he'll say something pretty interesting. That's wonderful. And the area name at the top is untranslated. I presume the translator didn't know about this area. So we'll go on ahead. And now we gotta go to the hermit's place. And first of several big long walks that we have to take on this island. We're passing by that shrine, and you might recognize that as the shrine that we warped to from the third island. And there's the mountain we have to go to at the end of the game. And I'll go ahead and show you real quick that without the rock that we get from the chief, we can't go in. So we'll keep going. Keep walking, keep walking. That's pretty much most of what this part is. And there's not a whole lot left interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't blame you if you skip to the end. But here's the hermit's place. And we can talk to him. Pretty much no matter what we say, besides give a present, he'll just say to get out. So, instead, we'll go ahead and give him a present. We've got several options. That's supposed to be money. That's a mistranslation. And he can't take it. And no matter what else we try, except for the canteen, and that includes the poetry, he says he can't take it. He can't accept it. So we give him the canteen, and he'll tell us to go back to the chief. And we have to go all the way back. You can tell at this point that the developers basically ran out of ideas. You know, the first part of the game was kind of like Shenmue, except Shenmue was massively overrated. But, you know, it's kind of like Shenmue, which made it intriguing, if nothing else. But this part, it's like many other bad games I've played. And, you know, I mean, games where there's enemies all over the place, and, you know, everything's out to kill you, and you have very little space to maneuver, your controls suck, even the gun is not a very good weapon because you can't crouch, you can't hit low-lying monsters with it, you can't shoot up at the monkeys or anything. Anyway, we're back at the chief's village again. This time we can give him a present. And, you know, as another sign of them running out of anything interesting to do, you know, everything you give him, he just says thanks, and, you know, except the elephant ornament, which he says, what he says sounds like you don't actually have an elephant ornament, but as you'll see here in a second after I get the rock, I'll go into my inventory, I do have the elephant ornament. I don't know why it did that, it might be a bug or something, but he acts as if you don't have it, so I don't know. Anyway, gotta go all the way back over again. I forgot to get the heart, but, you know, at this point in the game, especially with me using save cheating, it's not that big of a deal. So one more big long walk, and then we can get to the final section of the game. And, you know, another sign of them running out of ideas is nobody on the island says anything to you. There's no... and there's, like I said, the only interesting buildings out of all this island are essentially the chief and the hermit shrine. The rest of it's just traps. And it's annoying to get into this mountain. It takes a couple of tries usually. So, bear with me for a second. And, yep, I finally got it. So now, we're in the dungeon, and the dungeon is just a bunch of enemies, and no hints as to where to go. As far as I know, it's totally trial and error figuring out what places you have to warp to the next part of the game. And this part of the game is just here as pure punishment, as far as I can tell. Takeshi and the developers are basically like, you know, what are you doing? Why are you still playing this game? You're an idiot, stop playing. And, of course, I keep playing because I'm an idiot. So, almost finished, though. Thank God, we're almost done with this. And 3 more sections left. And this time we've got pirates, you know, because why not? It's an island. Should have pirates on it, I guess. They're guarding a treasure. Makes sense. More annoying platforms to maneuver around for no reason. Here's the warp to the third part, once I find it. There we go. And, so this is the third part. Very much like the other parts, except this one has skeletons in it, because, again, I guess why not? You know, it's, you know, might as well start just throwing everything out at the end here, you know. There's a lot of bad games that do things like this. Just nonsensical enemies just because they can do it. And yep, this is pretty much the rest of the game up until the end. So again, if you want to just skip ahead, I think that would be a smart thing to do. I mean, the Sea's Crab already went through this part. There's basically no difference between what I'm doing and what he did. And I really don't know how they expected you to know how to get through these areas. I mean, I guess the part with the stalactites, the last warp, was distinctive looking. But the warp in this section is definitely not distinctive looking. I don't know how you would find it by trial and error. You'd pretty much have to have a guide to tell you where it is. I mean, you know, even I just played this game not that long ago, and I couldn't remember where it was until I looked it up. So there it is, finally in the last part, and there's another hidden heart. At this point it's kind of redundant because the fourth part is mercifully short compared to the other parts. Got these weird looking enemies, I don't know what those are supposed to be. Just about done. Kinda look like a cross between Homer Simpson and the Kool-Aid Man. And yes, I know about that cursor again. Do you really care at this point, honestly? Does anybody really care at this point? And we're almost done. And here is the big slap in the face. Yep, get all the way to the end, and you're dead. Now, if you want to see the real ending, go to Deceased Crab's Let's Play. He shows it to you, and it's really insulting, just like you would think. And that's all I have to show you, except for one last little thing. It is possible, actually, to get to the South Pacific without divorcing your wife, but then this happens. So, and you're warped back and you have to divorce your wife. And that's pretty much all I have to show you. Thanks for watching. you know, I don't know why you kept watching to this point, but, you know, thank you for your patronage. Again, this is Rob Pluvius Browning, and goodbye.